So this is a simple video editor tool. It has a functionality to edit a video audio as well as record as well for the recording as well. And this is the team that we worked on this project. So there is Ameed and me, and the project was led by Arindam. So what basically this project is, we are calling it Geek Edit, and basically it is a web platform that allows for audio and video processing. So basically, if you look at the current video editing or audio editing tools, they are the really big huge software that you have to download, and there is a bit of a learning curve that's there before you can even starting editing a video or audio file. So this takes away all this complexity from that, and you can simply just go to a URL, upload your video, and UI is simple enough that you can intuitively start editing like within seconds. And as for the features, like we allow to edit videos, we also allow to record video. It has a feature to record video, and we are also storing user data. So if you are in partway recording and you left the tab for some reason, or you want to continue edit some other time, you can also do that as well. And as for the tech stack, we are in front end using React.js and TypeScript. Media pipe selfie segmentation, we are using it to remove the background. And FMPG is a command line tool which provide a plethora of functions for video and audio editing. It's a CLI tool. And then Firebase. Okay, so the media pipe is a very lightweight, fast ML solution. It is provided by Google, and it has a it provides ML solutions for images and videos, and it's really fast. It works in a real time almost. And FMPG is a very old school command line video editor tool. So it has a huge list of functions, and it has it's very powerful, but the developer experience is not very good with it. It's hard to work with, but it's very powerful. You can do almost everything and anything in FMPG, but it might not be fun to do that. So, and for the last part, we have a Firebase. We are using backend of Firebase as a backend. So Firebase is basically developed by Google, and it has a backend as a service. And in our project, we are using it for authentication and as well as storing user data. And now let's talk about how it works. So the project is divided into two sections, record and editor. Amit, can you please take it from here?
Sure. So the project is divided into two parts, recording and editor. So let's first talk about the recording. So in the recorder, there are two steps where we are reading and storing the data. Reading the data from the inputs and then storing, which is main recording the data and providing the virtual background if user wants to. So how we are getting the input from the browser. So there are some web APIs, media APIs, and from that, using that, we can get the stream objects of video and audio. And so let's talk about the input data first. So there's a API which is called navigator.media device, get user media, which allow you to get the stream object of the video and audio, and you can pass constraint on options to the user media that you want to audio or the video on which height and which length. And for screen recording, there is a API for web API which is get display media, and it is also same. You can pass the constant and it will give you the stream object. And how we are recording the input data. So in video thing, we are taking audio and video separately. So for video, you can process the video and we can add virtual background, and then we can combine the video into and we can combine the stream, and then we can pass it to the media recorder. There's a media recorder web API. Web is very rich in these APIs, and like the media recorder you can pass the stream object that you have get with the audio or the constraint you have passed, and after that you can start recording with the start methods, and you can also attach the on data available. When the data is available, you can process on that data. Also, you can capture the canvas screen with the media APIs. So it allows you to pass the capture is canvas stream, and you can also record the canvas screen with a media recorder. So next part is how we are actually adding a virtual background. So for that we are using selfie segmentation, which is provided by the Google, and they are using also in the Google Meet. So how it works is it takes a selfie, it takes the input image, and we are continuously calling the this API, and we are sending the frame by frame, and each frame is passed to this API. And what it returns the segmented background, which means there is no foreground. The foreground part will be cut out, and it will be masked. It masks the background, and then you uh, put when you draw the original image on the canvas, and then you draw the segmented background. So now with the help of this segmented background, you can change the background of the video. So selfie segmentation here, this is how we can call this API. We need to pass the input data, and from the file it returns the segmented background. So like I said, first is draw the original image on the canvas, then it draws the segmented background, which means there is no foreground, only the background image, and that segmented background can be manipulated, and that's how we are adding a virtual background. So either you can add the image to the background, or you can apply many filters like blur effect, or if you want to increase the brightness and all, you can do it with that.
So this was the part about how the recorder works. And now let's move on to see how the editor part of the video works. So for the editor, we went with a very obvious choice of using an FMPG editor too. So FMPG is a command line interface. So to make a web app out of it, we have to provide a front-end GUI layer through which a user can interact with an FMPG command line too. But no matter how fast FMPG is, generating a new video for every small change in UI still takes a considerable amount of time. So that was our outer option key, like we can't do when user changes something in GUI and we instantly generate a new video. We have to, like, it does take a time. So this was a major problem in front of us. So we end up making two renderers. So first render is the one that uses an FMPG in the backend, and it renders out the final video edited video that user demands. And the second is the front-end GUI layer. So it is another renderer in itself, and we need to build this because user need to see what edits or changes they are making in order to, like, when they are happy and they can finally render out the final video. So these are the two renders. Now let's talk about them, each of them in detail. So let's first talk about the front-end GUI layer. So basically, again, the front-end GUI layer is just there for user to see what changes they are making. So how do we do it? Like, it's not very hard to do it. You just keep track of the every changes made to a file, and then you use the native web APIs and functions provided by a browser to emulate those into a preview window. This way we don't have to generate a new video every time user makes the changes, and we can just keep the track of the changes and emulate them. I know that might not sound very clear. Let's just walk through the two examples to see what I mean by them. So one of the most basic operations that performed in the editor is trimming a file. Let's say you have a video file of 30 seconds long and you want to trim it and only keep the middle section from 2 seconds to 15 seconds. So how we can go about doing this? Like, when the user make the following changes, we keep a track that user trim the file from 2 seconds to 15 seconds. And whenever we are required to play that file, we start playing from a 2-second mark, and then we start keeping a track of time. And as soon as the 15-second mark is hit, we pause the current video. And this can be very easily done with a native web APIs using .currenttime, .play, .pause available on the HTML video elements. Similarly, for the merge operation, so merge operation is another most common operation performed in the video editors. So merge basically means combining two videos into a single file. So if we think about it logically, the merge is just playing one video after another. So if we want to merge video 1 and video 2, what we can do is we can start by playing video 1, and as soon as the video 1 ends, we can pause the video 1, switch it out for a video 2, and then start playing the video 2. And then we will again let the video 2 play till the end of its duration. Again, this can again be achieved by our DOM manipulation by replace child and .play .pause functions available on the HTML, or you can use any other thing to replace. Like there are literally many options to how you can go about doing that. And this was the front end layer. This is how we are emulating changes on the front end GUI. And next part was rendering out the final output. So as we spoke before, we are using FMPG for that. So FMPG is a very powerful tool, and what we have to do basically, like following all the edits made by a user, we generate a FMPG recipe, command recipe, which is passed on to an FMPG, and then it runs through that and generates a final output. And basically what it looks like is you go through every file and every track in your editing menu, and you basically run the appropriate command to resize it, reshapes it, and whatever else you want to do. So for this project, we are using a fmpg.wasm package. So that allows us to handle the video editing in the front end as well, because FMPG was written in C, and like Wasm brings that functionality to the web. So the fmpg.wasm is very similar in the interface as compared to the original FMPG. It's just you have to like write fmpg.run, and then you can pass your original FMPG command into that run function. So what our FMPG, like what this recipe is doing, like I will try to summarize this in the 5 steps. So what we do when the user these are the tracks in your editing interface that is provided to a user, and let's suppose there are 3 tracks here, and whenever user make any changes to a file, so we first of all, when user click on the export, we trim each and every video to its appropriate length. Let's say they cut short some videos, so we do that. Then we try to find out the final length of a video. So when you find out final length video, there is a chance that, like for suppose this track plays to here and this track is only playing till here, so there is an empty block here and here. So we need to programmatically generate an empty video and put it there. So that part empty could also be included in a final export. Then we merge all the videos in a single track. This way we have 3 tracks, and then we are also providing for an option to resize and reposition the video in a preview window. And after that, we do that to each track, and then we can generate the final output. Let's walk through a demo so it will be much more clear what everything is happening. So let's first go through the authentication. So you can authenticate either using your email, or you can also sign in with a Google. And if you don't already have an account, you can sign up with your email account. We are using Firebase for the authentication, and in this demo video, I'm logging in with my test credentials that I've been using. So when you log in, you are taken to the editor window. So each and every editor has an project ID associated with it that you can see in the URL. And when you open editor window, you have all the files that you might have uploaded or used it in the past available to you on the left hand side panel. Now to add a video to edit, you can either choose a file from a left hand side panel, you have to just click it and it will load into your tracks editor. Or another option you have is that you can also upload a file from your system. You can also upload your local files from the system. And as for the file manipulation, you can move the files around to determine when they start playing in the preview. So till here you can only see the explosion video, and then Statue of Liberty videos comes in. And for other option, we have that you can trim the file. You can either trim it from the beginning, or you can also trim it from the end. This way you can minimize the size of the, like you can select the length of the video that you want in the final export. Another option that we have is that you can split a video. So let's say you have a video file and you want it to be separated into 2 files from any particular point. So what you can do is select that point, you can select a file and you can click on the scissor icon. So it will split the video into 2 equal halves. Not 2 equal halves, like basically wherever you want to cut, it will split the video from there. Now it will act as 2 separate videos. You can reposition any cuts anywhere, anyhow you want. Now another option, like, so the every cut has a capability to extend into full length video. So let's say you made the two cuts and you want each of them to be again a full length of video, you can do that. You can also click on the dustbin icon and that will trash icon, and that will remove the video that you don't want anymore. And so as for how many tracks you can have as number of tracks as you want. Thing is, like, when you require a new track, they keep popping up on the node. Like if I drag that down, so a new line in the track will pop up. And another feature is, since we are using a Firebase, so the changes you have made in your editing profile are persisted. And yeah, so if you take the same URL and you try to visit it some other time, so the changes that you have made in this editing project remains. So as soon as you enter the URL, it will load the files that you have previously in the position that you have it previously. Another feature that we provide, as I talked in the FMP slide, is regarding the reposition and resizing of the videos. So you can also reposition and resize the video. You can drag it from its end, and with this you can do something like a split screen video or overlaying videos, like something that you typically see in the presentation or sort of that, like this. And when you play it from now, the both videos will be playing simultaneously. So these were all the features for the editor. Now let's look at the recorder. So at the top you can see we also have a record a video button. When you click on this video, it will ask your permission to use your microphone and camera, and you can set up a like virtual background, whatever you want. If you have your own virtual background, you can also bring that in and use that as a virtual background. To start a video, you just have to click at the start video recording. Okay, you can also either just record your audio or video or both. When you click on the start recording, the video recording starts, and at the bottom there is a timer that shows how long the recording has been going for. You also has an option to blur your background. You can also change the background mid recording, and when you are satisfied with what you have recorded, you can ask to stop the recording. On the top there was a go to edit button. When you click that, it brings your recording into your editor, and from here on you have all the available options of the editor. You can merge it with another file, you can trim it, resize it, however you want to use it. This was all for the demo video. Now let's talk about some of the challenges that we faced and conquered in the development. Amit, could you please take this?
So the challenges, basically everything was a challenge because everything is new to us. But these are the major challenges that we have faced during the development. First of all, as I told you before, if you remember, I told you that we passed the video to the selfie segmentation, and selfie segmentation calls the API with frames. So we call the API frame by frame, which means we have to call this API continuously. So for continuous operations, either we can use the set interval time, which we cannot depend on it because set intervals depend on the operations. So if some other tab has more hard work, so it will delay the frame by frame API calling. So there's a browser API which is called request animation frame, which works on the background tab, but if there's a limitation of it, it works for the current tab. So if you are recording and you are on the same tab, it will work fine. But if you switch the tab, then it will it will stop sending the frame by frame API. So for to overcome this challenge, we uses the web worker. We haven't explored it yet that much, but we are finally able to call the API in the background thread. And for second challenge we were facing is to extract frame efficiently. So first we were using the FMP pack for extracting the frames because it's a built-in video tool solution. So for that, it taking a lot of time. We checked other editors that they were instantly generating the frame, but FMPG is takes like 2 minutes for 30-second video, which was not efficient at all. So we FMPG takes the time to load, so we have to come up with something that is more efficient and that is more fast. So now we are extracting the frames using the seek functionality. We playing the video and we are seeking it once from 1 second. Currently we have size frame sizes like 1 second per frame, and we are seek to one frame and take a snapshot and store in the canvas with the index, so we can use and display the frames in the video editor. Third challenge we have faced is to keep everything in sync, because as I told you, we are keep the video and audio separated, so virtual background can be edited. So after that, we have to keep the video and audio in sync on the GUI of the front end. And and we all also know that handling different file formats is a difficult task to do. So these are the four challenges. We have major four challenges we have faced. So new learnings, as I told you, everything was new to us. So, but APIs are very rich. We haven't known that the media APIs are so powerful, which can handle the major operations as well. And FMPG PEG is a command-based tool, and we are using the GUI layer for editing on the front end. So we have to learn about FMPEG so we can convert the GUI into command line. And MediaPipe also self-page segmentation, how we are removing the backgrounds and sending the image input data to the its API. And HTML5 canvas, and we were actually very new to canvas, but after this we have a strong grip on the HTML canvas as well. So for future aspects, like we haven't integrated the screen recording yet, but we will definitely, it will be our next task. The transitions we need to, when you switch from one video to another video, there should be a transition, or there should be a feature that you can add the transitions. And background video. Third is add background audio, so you can voice over or you can add the background audio to the video, and remove audio from the video. So currently we have not add this feature, but it will be a simple feature to remove the audio. Then add subtitles to the video and voiceover. So there is a text to speech a web API. We will explore it in order to add subtitles in the video element, and the stickers, text, and GIF obviously. And yeah, we are also thinking to integrate the real-time collaboration, so we multi users can edit the same video and it will be in real time.